Speaking of liking it, the JT is good for golf thing confirmed true. The ratings came in from the RBC Heritage. Just had to mention this really quickly. The highest ratings for the RBC Heritage in 23 years. The 4.36 million was the average viewers. Peaked at over 6 million, which feels like a shit ton. CBS also announced with all these ratings that 4 of their 5 final round broadcasts in 2025 have seen increased viewership this year, and CBS has averaged 2.46 million viewers, which is up 26% from last year. So it feels like not that long ago we were talking about the American Express, which had a pretty lame sort of leaderboard. It's just, I don't know, it didn't have the juice, doesn't have the pop. Ratings were very, very low, and then next thing you know, we've had some big winners, big names. We obviously had Rory break through. He's won 3 times already. We've had Ludwig. We've had just some big names win. And then JT breaks through, first win in 3 years. Fantastic ratings. So feels like we're on a little bit of an upswing here when it comes to the popularity of the game.
I'm really glad that we got the Rory wins and now the JT win, because when we talk about ratings, and I think when we've talked about it in the past, we've given the theoretical idea of like, if just the big names are winning and they're playing in the final groups on Sunday, golf can get really big numbers. And I'm glad we're getting to play it out in real life, where it's when you get big winners, and it's the most obvious thing in the world, but when the biggest golfers win the biggest golf tournaments, the ratings are going to be way up. And when middle of the road or lesser known golfers win these golf tournaments, people aren't going to watch. So again, it's super obvious, but like having that happen, being like, all right, because it would suck if Rory won, the Players, and he won at Pebble, and then the Masters, and now JT at RBC, and the numbers came back and they were still flat. Then we got a real problem. Then golf is dead and it's dying, and I don't know what they're going to do. But there is something now. There is proof that when the golf is really, really good and the players are super notable and famous, golf can succeed and even exceed what it has done in the past. And I think that is a really promising sign. I don't know if we're going to get, JT and Rory winning every tournament or big names winning every tournament. That would be great for the game of golf. But it's nice just to know that when the big dogs show up, the numbers also show up.
Yeah, and I had that clip that we put out that said we might be in the midst of the greatest PGA Tour year of our lives. Obviously, there's a difference between what I'm saying in terms of the whole leaderboard being packed with the best players and the parity of the best players all being able to hoist trophies at the end of events, as opposed to one guy dominating it. Like, there's a difference between Tiger Woods dominating the PGA Tour. That's like its own kind of category of the greatest golf you'll see. Scotty Scheffler coming out and like setting records, like that is a different category. What I mean is, like, every week you don't know who's going to win. And that is usually typical, but it's names like in 2024, like in Hawaii, Chris Kirk won. This year, Hideki Matsuyama won, right? So like that right there is already a big difference. Last year at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, Wyndham Clark won. This year, Rory McIlroy won. So like there's a huge difference between what happened just 12 months ago. And then of course, like you've got, like Jake Knapp won, Nick Taylor won last year, like the Phoenix Open, and Austin Eckroat won, and Scotty like dominated, right? But like now you've got multiple. You got Hovland winning this year, and you've got Rory winning 3 times, just like Scotty did last year.
Ludwig won the Farmers last year, and it was like Ludwig Oberg this year. It's like
Ludwig Oberg won at Torrey Pines, which was like you couldn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, that's an amazing win for him. Like, it's just. There's something in the air this year is my point. There's names out there that's like every single week. And you've got Bryson, who was in the mix at the Masters, who's probably going to win a major this year. Scotty still hasn't even won this year. So like it's already been such a great year. And you haven't even had Scotty Scheffler, who made last year so historic, hasn't even won yet. So I just think that we're in, it's only April and we are in for just a great, great next 3 majors and great big PGA Tour events. You got the Ryder Cup. I just think 2025 will go down as a pinnacle year. We already got one of the greatest Masters of all time. So it's already going to shoot it up to the top of the best years. So yeah, I just wanted to confirm and stamp that for me, that I'm holding true and I'm holding strong on that take.
Right. Like this is our Yankees Dodgers year. Like it happens in every single sport where like, yeah, sometimes you get the dream matchup and then sometimes you get I don't know, the A's versus whoever, and you're like, yeah, that was like not a great World Series. So it happens in every sport. It just so happens with golf when it's not a team sport. Like no matter what team in any other sport makes the finals or the World Series or whatever, that team has a fan base largely. There's those people. There's people who will live in that area who watch that team and are going to watch it no matter what. If Matthew Pavone wins at a golf tournament, I don't know how many Matthew Pavone fans there are. So that rating is going to be way, 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 way down.
I couldn't agree more. I think, look, it's true that at any given tournament, anybody can win. I think it's unbelievably exciting when that anybody is kind of, it appears narrowed to like 10 guys, and those 10 guys are the biggest stars in the game. And we kind of came in that, credit to us. It was like, I think before this really started going nuts, maybe Rory had just won at Pebble or something. It wasn't like we had as many of these as we've had. There was sort of this conversation that we had about, holy shit, it really does feel like if Scotty isn't the guy rattling off every win this year, that we could have stars emerging, stars winning titles, and that's what we've got. And those clips matter, man. Like JT making that, whatever that was, 17-foot birdie putt in the playoff and having the big fist pump, having the emotional interview afterwards. It's his first win, as a married guy who's now a father and having his family out there. And that guy being a giant star that people know, people that watch NBA playoffs and are watching NHL and watch NFL and whatever, like having them be like, oh, I know that JT's winning. All right, that's great. Having them see Rory, win the Masters, and then looking afterwards at every sports, show that we have at Barstool, the Rory McIlroy clip was their next clip that Monday, whether it's Pardon My Take or it's, whoever the hell it is, the Chicklets guys, the Unnamed show, they're all weighing in on Rory McIlroy. And that is just phenomenal for golf. It's phenomenal for getting people hyped up about it. When you hear, Rory's and the JTs and all these guys talk about what inspired them to choose to play golf over other sports, they all go back to like watching Tiger Woods. And that now is like, that's very pivotal in terms of getting young fans into the game of golf, is having the stars emerge and having it not appear boring, having it be mainstream, having it, the other kids at school are talking about golf, they're watching golf, their dads and their moms and their friends are talking about Roy McIlroy or Justin Thomas or Ludwig or Bryson. Like that is so goddamn good for the growth of the game of golf. So yeah, it really has been such a good start. And there is this huge concern in golf that post Tiger Woods, post Phil Mickelson, what are you going to do? You just don't have that crutch that you could just lean on. You don't have basically the most famous person in the world, which is what Tiger Woods was for a while, who's just going to deliver interest and more interest and more interest, so much so that they're putting out documentaries this past Sunday from Tiger Woods' season 25 years ago. They're like still trying to like milk the Tiger Woods thing, which I watch, by the way, I want to talk about. But yeah, it's super exciting. And we said it going into the Masters tournament. We were like, dude, it feels like this is going to be a couple big stars going up against each other. And what do we get, man? We ended up Justin Rose, who's great in a playoff against Rory, but it was like Bryson and Rory and the rematch, and everybody was so hyped up about it. And it's great, like you said, Trent, to see the ratings are kind of backing up what we said, because if you have all your stars going at it and then there's still no ratings, you might just not have a good product ever.